As many of you know, PGR, Punishing Graven, just launched in the West. I initially planned to make a video on it, but soon gave up since I felt there wasn't too much I wanted to talk about. But as I was streaming the game on Twitch, I'm streaming the game right now on Twitch every single day, by the way, I had some viewers coming in to tell me some of these infos they had, which is sadly nowhere from the fact. And I felt I needed to make a video to explain and debunk some of these misinfos out there, and maybe talk about what to focus at the starting stage of the game, which is pretty much now. So let us begin. First of all, rerolling. So I've seen some videos and comments on the beginner banner and then rerolling. One said something like this: start rerolling until you get an S character from your first 10 pool, then you can get another S character from your beginner banner as you finish the 40 pools, and then another S character from the self-select S ticket. This is absolutely wrong. At the start of the game, as you finish chapter 1, so as you clear 112, you will get roughly 14 pools worth of these purple tickets, right? These are for these normal beginner banners only that doesn't have a specific rate up, and roughly about 4 pools worth of black cards, which you should save for the upcoming first event that has this really OP character called Alpha. So as you're re-rolling, all you'll be doing is the 14 pool on this beginner banner and hope to get an S character from that. Once you get an S character from this beginner banner, there will no longer be a guaranteed S once you finish the 40 pool. You do not be asking to get 2 S characters from this beginner banner. See, first 40 times 100%. This means guarantee 1 S within the first 40 pool. Once you get an S character, you will go back to 1 S rank every 60 pools. That's all there is. Okay, so don't expect like, oh, I want 3S. If you want 3S at the start, whale. Now, let's talk about the upcoming event banner. So this is where it's going to be. Now we have Lee. Alpha is going to be our first character, supposedly. When I was streaming, I was told by some viewers that the event banner will be 100% grade up. So unlike this only has 70% grade up when a new character is newly released. So they're like saying, oh, when a new character is released, they will be 100%. And this one's only 70% because this is not a new character. That is wrong as well. Okay, this is not true. The 100% grade up will be introduced down the line, but not at the start of the game. That's how CN and JP went through it, and that'll be the same for us most likely. Just because it'll be 100% in the future doesn't mean it will be like now. So lower expectations, because imagine like everyone's expecting, oh, it's going to be 100% grade up, so I'll get like the character and the weapon with like 22,500 black cards, but then it comes up with 70% and everyone gets like disappointed and just rage quits. I don't understand those people who just probably played the game, like played CN for like a month or two, didn't even experience the initial launch of CN. I'm sorry for the harsh words, but they probably didn't experience the actual frustration of no guaranteed grade up, and they just expect like everything to be nice. No, people raged about it, people complained, and then they introduced the 100%. Okay, that's how it was supposed to be from the start. And if it ends up being 100%, good on you, PGR. I love you, but you know, a lot of Chinese players will be really pissed because why does EN, and JP players will be like, why does EN only gets the 100% grade up? That's just how it is. Next, some of you might want to ask which character to reroll. Here I explain the characters so you have a rough idea of who you might want to pull and use. So there are mainly 3 types of characters in the game, right? DPS, tank, and healer. DPS is just, as it is, your main damage dealer. Tanks usually play the role of decreasing the enemy's defense and resistance of a certain element for enemies for your DPS to deal damage, right? So sometimes they have like really high resistance and you just have to have that in the future. And healers play more of an assistive role, like gathering enemies and healing. These tropes are actually really clear on the first 3 B ranked characters we got at the start of the game as you look into their skills. Then character have their elements each. So as we want to build teams in the future, usually we want a team of character with all three types of each character. So a DPS, a tank, and a healer. That all works with the same element. And that is like the usual form, the normal form of a team that you will see. Now, let's take a look at the characters, right? First of all, as I would expect, a lot of people is like suggesting just pull Kamui, because he is the only dark element tank that we will be getting. Like even at 1.5th anniversary, this is the only dark tank that we will be getting. And if you want to clear dark like war zones in the future, I'll explain what war zone is later, you will want to have this for your damage assistance. At the start of the game, he's also pretty good at dealing damage as well. Next, we have S-Class Liv. She is a pure healer, okay? She doesn't have any elements, so you can probably bring her in your physical team, but pretty much the only thing she does is healing. Next, we have Lee, which is the raid up character as well. This is our main physical attacker now before the first event banner comes. So what he does is actually a bit different. He has like this really huge AoE damage. So if you want to build a physical team and you don't want to get a female character for some reason, so you don't want to get Alpha, Lee is actually your choice of physical damage character right now. Ember is our most OP fire character in the future. She will be buffed in the future. So right now she's actually not in her best state yet, but she is your main and only fire attacker DPS that you will be using for the longest time. So something like Kamui, but fire. Well, and obviously one's attacker, one's a tank. Pulse is your fire tank. Same role as Kamui, but fire. Easy to understand. Hell, he is pretty much your physical attacker, but really not the best. I just wouldn't recommend anyone to use him as of right now. Bianca Zero, pretty much the same situation. There will be an S Bianca that will be coming soon, and she's really good. So if you really like her, you can probably wait for the S variant. That one would be really good, like tier 0 type. Blast is the A variant of Karen. So lower in fire damage, but right now at the start of the game, she is actually one of the best characters to use. So if you end up getting her like without like other than your S character, Karen is actually a really good choice to be building. At least for like the first half year of the game, she will do really well over the actual S one. Now, Nightblade. This is your physical attacker. You can use him as well if you want to build a physical team. That's about it. I don't really like male characters. Sorry. Dawn, your lightning team attacker. Easy to know, but you will probably want to wait for future lightning attackers if you really want to go with lightning team. She's fine, but there will be better choices. Lux is actually one of the best Liv right now. So a variant of Liv, she is actually one of the best Livs to have, since the S variant is actually more focused on just healing, while this Lux actually does a lot of supportive roles. So this is actually the better Liv to get in some situations, like in a lot of situations actually, especially if you want to go into lightning teams. She's a really good choice to build. Next, Lotus, the free one we get, the main one I'm using. Probably don't recommend her. Like I'm really struggling with some of the stages because I'm only using her. And the free one that we get, the free Liv that we get, fine, a bit of supportive, less healing than the S class, but good enough to use if you don't have another choice. Storm is actually really important. She's a very good physical team tank to have. Reduces the enemy's defense really well as well. So if you want to build a physical team in the future, it's actually a pretty good idea to raise Storm, especially when like she's literally free, and a high chance of you getting her in the future since she is on the League class. So these are all the characters for now, at least. Now you know all the characters. Next, what to do. first you want to rush the story to clear 4, 8, and 5, 7, the one that I'm actually stuck right now on. These will unlock Warzone and Phantom Pain, which allows you to clear weekly missions that gives you 1,000 black cards in total. Don't forget, 2,500 black cards means 10 pool, and you want a minimum of 22,500 black cards for each banner if you want the character plus their unique weapons. And this is actually your main source of pooling resources to get, especially if you're not a huge whale. Since ignoring the first time purchase bonus, $100 will grant you only 24 pools worth of black cards. So, you know, if you're a huge whale, you probably don't mind, but for us normal players, weekly quest is really important. So before the weekly resets, clear the stages, reach 4, 8, 5, 7, clear your weekly missions, right? Then as you're going through, level up the characters that you want to build for future teams. So if you want to like go physical, you can do what I'm doing, build your storm, things like that, and only use resources on leveling and overclocking 5 and 6 star weapons and memories, right? Especially 4-star memories will just end up being used for experience for your higher rarity memories down the line anyway, and relatively soon. So don't waste like any resource on them. If you must, use some experience, but don't use any overclocking resources, because those are a bit hard to grind since it's pretty much RNG grinding for that resource. So that's about all I have to say about this game for now. I hope this helped you to get on track with the game, and I'll see you guys in future videos. See ya!